appointed. Well, trust us to keep you updated on the developments that will play out tomorrow at KICC.
Only, KT News is where you get the whole story, is what they say. Now, Rigathi Gachagua becomes the first deputy president to be removed from office through impeachment.
The High Court hammered the last nail on the impeached deputy president's proverbial political casket after vacating the conservatory orders. Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki is now set to become the third deputy president.
Grace Nganga reports that the courts affirmed their jurisdiction to hear and determine the case and pegged their decision on the constitutional imperative that the office of the deputy president cannot remain vacant.
Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki is set to be sworn in as Kenya's third president after a pivotal High Court ruling that lifted previous orders blocking his inauguration.
Applications for conservatory orders are hereby disallowed. 2. The conservatory orders issued on 18th of October 2024 in Keregoya High Court E015/2024 are hereby discharged.
In the ruling, Justice Anthony Mrima said the bench was convinced that the current constitutional framework does not envision a scenario in which the office of the second in command will remain vacant except during the brief period required to fill a vacancy.
This court firmly holds that no court should issue orders that have the effect of suspending the operation of any provision of the Constitution. Such an outcome is clearly not envisioned by the document itself. The suspending any provision of the Constitution, even temporarily, would undermine this principle by creating gaps in its operation and disrupting the intended balance of governance. Interest demands that the office of the Deputy President should not remain vacant.
Further, the bench noted that an extension of conservatory orders will mean the office remains vacant since the orders did not imply the reinstatement of Rigathi Gachagua as deputy president. The Justice Ogola presided bench held that the functions of the deputy president post the 2010 constitution, unlike the vice president in the 1963 constitution, cannot be discharged by any other person. Hence, staying the orders will constitute a violation of the constitution.
If the office of the deputy president is vacant, the specific constitutional functions assigned to that office remain unfulfilled. For clarity, not even the Speaker of the National Assembly may discharge the functions vested in the deputy president under Articles 147, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution.
Gachagua, however, requested the court to reject this application, arguing that if the orders were lifted, it will be politically detrimental to him, as he will not be able to regain his office, even if the High Court later invalidated his impeachment. He expressed concerns that the respondents have a history of disobeying court orders, making it impossible to remove Kindiki from office if the petitions were successful.
Can this court fold its hands and watch and midwife and babysit a violation of the Constitution?
A request that the bench reverse their own vocation orders were rejected. Lawyers representing the respondent side also argue that once the court settles the matter, it cannot be invited to rethink its decision. Gachagua's multiple cases will, however, go on. He will be seeking the removal of the impeached tag over his head if he is ever to run for office. Article 75 locks him out of holding any state position completely. On the other hand, President Ruto faced his first legal loss after a High Court found that the jurisdiction to hear impeachment cases against the president and deputy president does not lie with the Supreme Court exclusively. Grace Nganga, KT News, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, having been approved by the National Assembly